Hi, it's me, the episode Rang Long guy. But I'm not talking about this episode. I'm talking about the previous episode, which ran long, which you'd know if you watched the previous episode. And this is me segueing into this episode because I just chopped the recording. So you're gonna go straight into me with no introduction. That's why I'm here to introduce it. The guy, the video running long guy. When you last left off, we were busy piecing together everything that happened around the town, who was moving where, why they're moving where, who murdered who, why, what they were doing in places. I've got a spreadsheet on the go. I'm losing my mind slightly, but let's see if I can figure out what went on. And now, back to me. Now, do we think Lazarus died here? Very hard to identify these people. We know that the guy in The Little Mermaid lost a cannon gambling. Is this Walter Keane pulling off an absolute Godfather-style massacre? Like Walter Naught, that seems like a fairly lazy alias. But let's say the night before... You seem like a local, right? You weren't... We can go back to these previous things. So, here we go. You were playing at this point. You two were playing. But you... So you guys are locals. You're not passers-by who are just using the in part of the pub. You're just here for the pub. You guys are, what's your name? Annie Green and John Briage, and you didn't stay. Whereas here, you're still here. Still not staying. Ada Baker is staying, and Walter Naught was staying the night before. So what if Walter Naught, who's probably Walter Keane, is hanging around in town, gambles with this guy, gets him to bet his cannon, puts his cannon in the old manor house, Blackfield Manor. I'm never going to remember the name of it. Now, how does he trick Lazarus into coming here? That's the question. Who the hell is Lazarus? There's no evidence to be found here. There's the idol. Lead poisoning. Proud... Ah, here we go. Proud Beast. Give me this. Steward. Which is what we said here. The previous Proud Beast Steward. Yep. That's fine. Yeah, because we haven't been back here in a while. I didn't clock all this stuff at the time, obviously, because we had no understanding of these people. So, is there information from these earlier... chapters that we're not quite... that we need to reassess? Peter Blatley. Astonishing Monkey Man. Oh, Monkey Man. Little Pip loved Monkey Man. Dave Gorham, what's your game? I think this last chapter is Walter Keane getting revenge on everybody. Somehow. Alright, let's go back here. Oh, that was interesting. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. These were just the seals, which we were sort of aware of. We'd seen them around. Okay. I'm doing a lot of vibe-based work right now. I've got some evidence, so let's go back to our thinking page for a sec. I think I'm happy with this. Let me just move my head. I think early in the morning, Walter Keane also killed Lazarus Hurst at the manor. I think Walter Keane was at the pub. I think Walter Keane won the cannon. And I think Walter Keane set up a trap for Lazarus at the manor. I haven't got... The bit of information that I'm missing is why Lazarus would go to the manor. He says he's going to the manor. He says he's going to the manor before 10. So, here's some... Don't lose my head again. Let me stick my head down. Let me stick my head down here for a second. Right. This is Lazarus Hurst leaving in his fancy carriage at 8 o'clock. He tells them, I'm going to be back at 10 o'clock for the meeting. And crucially, the washerwoman does not write down that he came back. There's 3 instances of people leaving. This one, and this one. If Lazarus had come back, he would have come back between this and this sighting from the washerwoman. If we're going to assume the washerwoman sees all, she didn't go inside to have a break. She sees everything. So, I think Lazarus left in his newfangled carriage with some soldiers to go to Blackfield Manor. Did he know Walter Keane was going to be there? I'm not sure. But something enticed him there. Walter Keane set up a trap, blew him up. He didn't come back. Which leaves the third murder. And I'm now wondering if... So the third murder is the murder of, I think, James Turner, Dr. James Turner, by Alistair Coke. Maybe? My only evidence for that... So here's the... Let me just put my face back up here before I forget. 2 guys leave at 10:15 on horses. We know Alistair Coke is with a horse. Right? With his wide eyes. Going a bit mad for the idol. Slightly dented saber. So perhaps he's been in a fight. This guy here. Dead. Slightly dented saber with some blood on it. So I don't know. Maybe the swords got crossed or something. Let's just check this out just to see that. Have you been attacked? No. So my other thought I just had was, what if Walter Keane ambushed the two men and they got into a fight, and the blood was from that fight, like James Turner, who I'm assuming is a dead guy, fought with Walter Keane briefly. An empty musket. So it feels like Alistair Coke killed James Turner to get the idol. Why was James Turner in possession of the idol? These are questions I have. And the helmet is a cunning addition. Because Alistair Coke and James Turner were co-conspirators all the way, right? They were buddies. They were tightly connected in the political machinations they were executing. So what made Alistair Coke suddenly go greedy? Let's look at the character descriptions that Cloudsley's written down. Alistair Coke. Pompous and vain, but being a military man, is ready to obey and ready to kill. So he can kill. James Turner. Greedy and hedonistic, requires constant material motivation to cooperate. Ambitious and inventive, but treacherous, as many smart people are. So he is ready to kill, but he's also ready to obey. Why would he? And the other question I keep asking is, what happened first? Did Walter Keane kill David Goren? Or did Alistair Coke kill James Turner first? I think this is first because it happens. The bike thing is so much earlier in the day. These guys leave at 10:15, which is not that close to noon. Like, we have to get to the afternoon, and they seem to have died just down the road. On horses. Like, nothing suggests to me it would take that long. I can't imagine David Goren on the bike, or... But it does kind of suggest David Goren went into the house and just kind of stayed there for a while. Let's go to the house. The cabin. So David Goren's there with his bike. Goren's there with his bike. He's got a little satchel. In fact, let's go back. Okay, that's not his satchel there. Where else do we see him? We see him here. Can't see his little satchel here. Where else has he appeared? He's appeared here. I think where he left his satchel behind in the bushes. Maybe that one. No, that's Walter Keane's stuff. That's David Goren's satchel. Now, he might have changed satchels, but these are not... Definitely not his bags. No. Okay. Satchel unclear. So I wonder if he was inside for a bit. I admit I may have treated you unjustly after our long cooperation. So that's... I don't know if this is Walter to David or David to Walter. I will come alone in peace so we can discuss your compensation. Who's used who? Who needs to be compensated? I guess seeing as... David Goran is on the inside and Walter Keane is on the outside, David Goran is going to be compensating Walter Keane. So this is I'm going to say David Goran talking to Walter Keane. I mean, part of me wonders if Walter Keane's involved in all of this stuff. Right, let's have a look at the thinking tab again. Let's have a look at this side. And this, I think, is going to be the bit I don't fully understand. So if we're going to assume that Walter Keane is the Walter Keane incident is the first thing, maybe this morning slot is early in the morning. Walter Keane went to the manor to do something because someone. I'm guessing kill or find or blackmail because somebody wanted to something to something, probably Golden Idol. Now before noon, somebody and somebody went out to try and do something. Instead, they found someone at the something at the crossroads. On the way back, they started to fight over it. Okay, I think this is going to be the case of Alistair Coke and James Turner. This might explain things. They went out to try and something. Instead, they found the Golden Idol. And it's a fake Golden Idol. That's why it doesn't have the stone that's the right colour. They found the Golden Idol at the crossroads, I'm going to say. On the way back, they started to fight over it. The crossroads might be wrong. But what were they out to do? What was their plan? Where were they going? And maybe they didn't find... So maybe they didn't find it at the crossroads because they fought on the way back from whatever this place was. He died at the crossroads. He died at the crossroads. So they must have been on the way back from something. The camp, the cabin, the camp, no, the castle, maybe. Sorry, the castle, maybe. Crossroads, the inn, the islet, the manor. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were doing. And what's happening after that? Aha. Sorry, I was reading quietly. So in the afternoon, this afternoon thing I think is going to be the Walter Keane David Goran business, and I'll explain in just a second. So I think this is in the afternoon. David Goran went to the cabin to, I think I think it's going to be find Walter Keane. Because I don't know. I don't know. Walter Keane had tried to. I'm just going to miss this little bit because someone had tried something to get back, and I think this is going to be lost years. Because do you remember the punishment for your discretion against the virtues is you lose years of your life based on your how bad it's been. So if we go to the charges and we find Walter, 32 minus 32. So if Walter was punished, they added 32 years to his life. Essentially, they aged him up 32 years, which explains why he's so old. It's not just normal time passing. He's old because he's had the idol used against him. So I think... Right. This is going to be lost years. This is going to be cabin. I think this is going to be Walter Keane, and I'm starting to doubt who's who now. But I think this is going to be David Goren, went to the cabin to... I think it's going to be find. Or blackmail. Because... He says, I admit I may have treated you unjustly after our long cooperation. I'll come alone in peace so we can discuss your compensation. If we read that at face value, and we not necessarily have to do that, he's not there to kill him. We can't look into his bag to see if he's got money. We can look into his pocket, I guess. He came with guns. So he shot one of his guns. David Goren. I think... Okay, kill or blackmail. I think Walter Keane had tried to... I think it's going to be blackmail David Goren. And I think this might be find. But it could be kill. No, it's very wrong. I didn't even get the you've got two things wrong. God, we're going to be here all day, aren't we? I've probably split this episode up. In the afternoon. Okay, that's fine. Let's go back to this guy. He's got 2 pistols. So let's try and work out what kind of person carries 2 pistols, and let's go to the party. Because people carry all kinds of weapons on them. Let's go find Dave Goren. He's a knife guy. He's a 1 pistol guy. He's a one pistol guy, but he's a pistol guy. Are we sure this is Dave Goran? These guys are dead. I don't think these guys have stuff on them. I don't think Dave Goran is here. Nope. Ooh. Is no one a two pistol guy? Are you a two pistol guy? Guess you don't need a pistol. That's Dave Goran again. Okay, maybe we don't have to go on the two pistols. Well, that's nothing. Dave Goran is in this one. No, Dave Goran's in this one, as we discovered. He's only got a knife in that one. Okay, we can't... Clearly there's not consistency with the weapons they carry chapter to chapter. Alright, sorry, I'm back. I thought someone was knocking at the door. They weren't knocking at the door, it was just someone outside. But I took the opportunity to get myself a nice cold drink. I stood in front of the fan for a little bit to cool down. And I did update my spreadsheet a little bit. How do I go backwards through here? I hadn't put all my characters in. I don't know how useful they are, but in terms of tracking where people are, so I can kind of go back through the chapters as I'm allowed to do, that seems useful. This I haven't been bothered. I'm going to put you over there because I haven't been bothered with you. I hadn't updated the last two parts, so I put those in there just so I can keep track of... I think dates might be important. I've been like talking about how many years have passed since all of this stuff happened. So let's go back into it. I think we were in the cabin at the time. Yes, we were. And what have we decided? Old Two Guns McGee. I think this is David Goran. Don't think it's blackmail though. Maybe that's not right. Okay. I'm happy with Lost Years. I'm happy with Afternoon. I'm happy with... Of course it's Afternoon. Of course it's the last one. He's bloody still alive. It's happening now. We're not finding a dead body. This is happening. So it has to be the last possible thing. No one's got a watch on them? No, so it's happening right now, sometime in the afternoon. Cool. Oh, you know who did have a watch on them? The washerwoman. So the current time is 12:15. What's the current date? May 15th. Let me put it in, just so I can keep track of this stuff. Yeah, 15th of May, 1795. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Wait, let me just look at the dates. So yeah, this was 2 months on from the Order Party Tribunal. 3 years on from the murder of one of the political parties. About 4 years on from Lazarus demonstrating the miracle, and so on. Lazarus got inducted into the Brotherhood 5 years ago and a bit. 2 years before that, we had the bandits breaking in. 2 years, half a year before that, we had the dinner party. Year and a half before that, we had Willard Wright being killed by Ash Blair. David Goran. and so on. And that was only 2 days after the Peter Blatley house business. Which was a few weeks after Sebastian died. Okay. So it's sort of... Why does this seem bigger? Does that font look bigger to you? Maybe not. Maybe it's because this 9 is quite big and it's pushing the other characters out. It's an illusion. Sorry. Right. Okay. I'm going to have to... I don't think the gun thing worked out, but I think I'm going to have to be looking at other chapters a little bit. Okay. Let's have a quick look at this again. Alistair Coke and James Turner went out to try and somebody. Instead, they found a golden idol at the crossroads. I don't think that's right. But I do think he killed him at the crossroads, right? I do think Alistair Coke killed James Turner at the crossroads. And if this is all correct, that is a good scaffolding to hang everything off. That means we're on the right track. It's not right. Okay, I think the afternoon is right. I think Walter Keane killed David Gorin at the cabin. And I'll tell you why I'm pretty confident. I think this is Walter Keane. I think this is... This clue is to show you that he's the Dark Hand steward, which is what he is. I think he's older because he lost... I guess gained, however you want to call it. 32 years. 32 years. Didn't he say in his letter that you stole 32 things from me? Yes, you took 32 years from me. Okay, so I'm confident. Right, that is Walter Keane. And why do I think that's David Gorin? At 11:30 on May 15th, meet me at the place the idol stolen from our Brotherhood and Paul Willard met his death. So that is the Little Mermaid. But before... Oh, did he say meet? He didn't say meet me. He said come to the Little Mermaid, right? No, he did say meet me. Meet me at the place the idol was stolen from our Brotherhood. Today is May 15th. Bring proof, something personal of yours, to give to the veiled woman. So 11:15 is earlier than this. I mean, 11:30 is earlier than this. Wait. Wait. No. Wait. Lazarus is Edmund Cloudsley. Maybe. This is the proof. Her veil is up. Like I said, I said I thought she'd leave her veil down until she was sure it was all done. It's 12:15 now. She's already met him at 11:30. Holy shit. Okay. Right? Because okay. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. Is this right? Am I going crazy? Okay. The cabin. Let's call this the cabin. Because that's what it's called here. Why are we not typing? There we go. Let's word wrap that for my convenience. Make it a little bit smaller so we can all see it. There we go. Right. In the cabin episode, the bandits break in to steal the idol. Edmund Cloudsley sets off the explosive trap. David Gorman gets stunned. He gets tricked with a scarecrow. And then in the next chapter, someone says that he was sadly killed in that explosion. Wait, we can do this now. Right. So this is the explosion event. He's hiding in this trunk. He seems fine, but I think in the next chapter it's suggested that he... Right, so this is Walter Keane. The devil had prepared a treacherous trap. An explosion slaughtered my dearest friends as we entered his study. Thanks to my sturdy physique, I survived the blast, only to be assaulted by the enemy's lackey, David Goran. So that's his telling of events, but we know that some people in the Order don't believe that. They believe he took the idol, which he did. After an hour of fight, I received numerous deadly wounds, in spite of which I prevailed, defeated my assailants with my martial training, discovered my enemy's dead, slain body by the trap of his own making, but no trace of the relic. I'm forced to go into hiding. And then he said, so this is January the 5th. And then like 10 months later, nearly 10 months later, I've been in hiding. I can't tell you anything. Shh. I found a guy called Lazarus Hurst, who I met in a remote manor one dark winter's night. He earned my trust and was well versed in the arcane arts. I suggest Lazarus be a fine addition to the Order. I vouch for him and will invite him to undergo the appropriate trial. So, what if the alternate... And this, you know, I was asking at the beginning of this chapter, what is the overarching tale of this? What's happening? Who are these people sort of popping in and out, seemingly turning face on their supposed allies? So let's reimagine what happened. Edmund Cloudsley did not die in the attack. Instead, there was some kind of scheming between Walter Keane and Edmund Cloudsley. Because Edmund Cloudsley is a politician. Edmund Cloudsley is a politician, but I think he's a struggling politician. Edmund Cloudsley's speech stirs Parliament, maybe not struggling. But he is a politician. Maybe he's had a lot of threats against him, so he's kind of getting a bit worried. People are threatening him. Revolution, you crooked bastard. So, he uses the idol, which we know can de-age people. I mean, look at this guy. We're pretty old. He's pretty old, but... What does his face look like compared to... Could this be the same guy, de-aged? Long face, broad chin, thin eyebrows. Nose is a little different, but... Is he Edmund Cloudsley reborn, de-aged using the device? We know Edmund Cloudsley was practicing the de-aging thing. He found that particularly exciting. He was practicing on apples. He wanted corpses. Holy shit. So what does this do for us, if that's true? Right, evidence, 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 evidence. Right, we know she works for the Brotherhood, or she worked for the Brotherhood, so she's the point person on this. If he gives you something to the one who belongs to the one who escaped your tonic, which he did. Sorry, I sort of that bit I missed. You may proffer him the instruction slip I gave you. Okay, so he gave him an instruction slip, so maybe we can find that. Now we're looking for Lazarus. I should have pieced this together, because Lazarus was told to give something that proves who you are, and this note says expect something from Edmund Cloudsley. So that's okay. So I think that's the proof that Walter Keane knows is in on this scheme. It's known from the beginning there is a collusion. It's not that Edmund Cloudsley turned around and appeared as Lazarus Hearst. They colluded on this for whatever reason, and then Walter Keane was betrayed, I think. Real men like us could beat the older party ninnies even without weapons. I heard you lost a cannon while gambling. Yes, we... People are being very loud outside. Yeah, so you lost your cannon. The cannon is now in the manor and was used to kill... I mean, I want to say not Lazarus / Edmund Cloudsley, because now the timeline is out of whack. Lazarus says he's leaving to deal with something in the manor, but will be back by 10. He doesn't come back by 10. But he does go to the Little Mermaid. So we suspect EC handkerchief. So where is he? So maybe he doesn't die at the manor. Okay, so let's find the instructions, because she's been told if he comes alone without backup outside, approach him. If he gives you something that belongs to the one who escaped your tonic, which he did, you may proffer him the instruction slip I gave you. Instruction slip. So the instruction slip could be this one. No. I'm annoyed that some of this is wrong. But it's interesting we can't put Edmund Cloudsley in. But we're sticking with like... I think these two bottom bits are right. I'm not sure. I think we're on the case of what's happening there. Okay, instruction slip. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. Nothing here. Nothing here. Why do you have a Navajar? We've seen a Navajar blade before. Where have we seen a Navajar blade before? Why do you have one? And are you not? So here's the interesting question. I just kind of took it on faith that you were just a washerwoman. I don't know, noting down insurrectionist activity. But I think it's more likely that you are noting down insurrectionist activity is your main reason for being there, and the washerwoman act is just a cover. So wow, Navajar blade. I'm getting distracted. I'm going to write washerwoman has Navajar blade. This has gone on forever to come back to. It's good though. It's just taking a very long time. Oh, Comrade Lazarus has not yet returned for several hours. Comrades Alistair and James have gone to... I can't find him. God, I haven't read this in ages. If they not return, we'll organise more search parties to find the lost. Okay, so this further confirms Alistair and James went together, and they went to find Lazarus. Instead, they found the golden idol at the... I guess it's got to be Manor. That's where they would have gone. That's where he said he was going. But who did he say it to? It was on his horse. He said it's a James. He said it's a James. So James... Right. I'm just going to point at where I know this from. So on James's horse, a note that says, I'm going to the Manor. I'm going to Brother Sebastian's house. So that's where they went, and I guess that's where they found the idol, which either is destroyed by the cannon fire, I mean, it looks a little bit cracked, but not crazy, or is a fake, is a setup. So let's go Manor, and fingers crossed this is right. Okay, we've got one. Okay. Now we need to place Lazarus Keen. Okay, so what if let's go to the bottom here. David Goran went to the cabin to kill Walter Keane because Walter Keane had tried to, I think, blackmail, right? Let's go back. Let's go back to the note he sent. If you refuse, I'll make the story of your true origins known to the other party leaders. So this is blackmail. He's blackmailing Lazarus. Who is probably not Keen. Edmund Cloudsley, because Walter Keane knows that Edmund Cloudsley is Lazarus Hurst, and I think David Goran went there to kill, because he went with guns and no money as far as we can tell. Okay. So everything now relies on understanding what the hell Lazarus was doing. So let's just tidy that up. Walter Naught. I think that's Walter, right? So you... What the hell were you doing with a cannon? Is the real question. The cannon! Remember the ship was missing a cannon? One of the very first things we saw, and I said, not much you can click on this ship, but I do note it seems to have a cannon with a cannon hole without a cannon in it. That's the cannon that's missing. That's the cannon that's here. I mean, it doesn't really help with much. All right, let's go through evidence again. We can do this. So, first thing to note. Walter Keane blackmailing Lazarus, telling him to meet at the Little Mermaid and bring something personal to prove it's you. Tie your reply to the pigeon, release it from the cage, it will find me. There's no pigeon in here, so clearly he's responded. He also has gone to the Little Mermaid at 11, half 11. Because Ada's got his handkerchief. Boom. Alistair and James went to find Lazarus. They went to the manor, they found the idol, they thought about it. Alistair Coke killed James Turner at the crossroads. Boom. Done. Now. Oh, you know what I'll quickly do? What's the knife? The Navajar blade. Let's go here. There were a lot of blades in this one. Come on. Nope. 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 Nope, you're dead. Nope. Nope. Okay. Maybe here. No. I've seen it before. I've seen this Navajar blade. Problem is we don't know who these people are. Come on, Navajar blade. Nope, you're a gun guy. Little Pip. No, no blades for you. No, I mean, I'd be surprised if people had knives at a thing like this, but still. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, hello. A Navajar folding blade. Oh, mother, forgive me. I'll never gamble me through something so... Now, he had his violin confiscated. We know that much. All right, what's your name? Maurice Evans. Nothing that exciting about him. Other than he lost terribly. I don't think he would have had the... So, Maurice Evans has the Navajar blade. He looks... He looks... Right, I took a picture of him because... Yeah, look at this face. Look at this face. You see it? I mean, I don't know what this means. I'm pretty sure the game is implying that this is Maurice Evans. Why is Maurice Evans here? I mean, he's spying. Did he have the pocket watch as well? No. Okay. I don't think Maurice Evans is... I think that's... We're not going to be able to do anything with that information other than it's sort of leading us to things. So, Maurice Evans. He wasn't really anyone in this chapter. He wasn't like... He was a gambler. Was he on the... Was he on this sheet? No. Someone was definitely killed at the manor. Come on, Stuart, you can do this. We've been at this for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Well, minus the little introduction of 5 minutes. Okay, I think it's pretty clear. In the morning, Lazarus Hurst went somewhere. I know what we were doing. Sorry, I'm all over the place. I wanted to find we were going through all of the information. Things they had in their pocket. Okay, so you're just working on the idol. Okay, so just to clarify what I'm doing. I'm looking for... Well, I'm looking for the instruction slip on somebody to try and figure out what happened here. Maybe Lazarus didn't turn up. But someone turned up with the handkerchief. I mean, it seems very unlikely that if the handkerchief was intact at 11:15 or 11:30, it seems unlikely that Lazarus was blown up by a cannon, because that's an easy way to destroy a handkerchief. We saw what the bodies look like. Anyway, so I'm doing that, but in doing that, I'm also trying to look for every little piece of information to make sure we haven't missed anything. There's nothing really here. Dented. Oh, you got a little cut there, actually, now that I see it. Damn, you cunning devil. You'll find me in the place where we two first met, so this is fine. We know it's Dave Goran. I recognise that voice. It is you. Isn't it poetic you fall for the same trap you did all those years ago? Straw men are your bane. Oh, literal straw men. Oh, interesting. Ooh. Okay, I see what happened. I understand. These guns hold one bullet, don't they? They're old guns. They hold one bullet. So what happened is, he didn't come here with good intentions. He came here, he crept along the window, he looked inside, he saw someone and shot at them. It was the old scarecrow again. And they put him in a dandy hat, and the dandy hat, of course it was a ruse. Okay. And while he was distracted shooting the scarecrow, old Walter Keane came up behind him. Kaboom. I don't know if that's a kind of gun. It's not, but, you know. So this bag... Okay. Okay, so this is the letter from Lazarus / Edmund. This is the bird returned, having brought the note. So this is a letter from Lazarus in response to Walter Keane's blackmail, saying, I may have treated you unjustly. I will come alone, blah, blah, blah. And then he's gone to David Goran. Take this guy out. So, take this guy out. And so this has ensued. So, then we're left with the question of what the bloody hell happened at the manor. Right, we've looked at this. Small but pressing business to attend to at the... So what is this? What is the pressing business that he has to attend to? I'll be back at the camp for our 10 o'clock strategy meeting as planned, which he never came back to. And you're saying, my dear husband, you're so brave, and you've been drinking since early this morning, but what will we do now? What if the evil government... men find us. Are these guys involved? Are these guys involved? Why is he so brave? What has he done? Right. So this is Edmund. Dear Edmund. So this is Edmund. I think sending her a love note, maybe. What does the front of this book look like? Just a bird, okay. Dear Mary, I know we are unworthy. White is hiding you. Soon I'll free you from his dirty paws and ship into the colonies. While you, I will put on a pedestal of sweetest praise, and you'll become my ideal wife. 1795. That's this year. That's around this time. That's around this time. And in this chapter, someone gave away the whereabouts of Mary and Peter. Ah, hang on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. And this is from Edmund. Well after his death. That's why he was looking for their whereabouts. They weren't traitors. They might have been traitors, but the most pressing thing is he was looking for her. Okay, Edmund is alive. It is Edmund. Lazarus is Edmund. Jesus. Like, I don't feel like I didn't read the clues properly. It's just there's quite a lot of information in this chapter and you have to keep kind of circling around to it. Okay. And what does the rest of this say? So these are both 1788. I don't quite understand what this book is, but sure. So these are both 1788. My uncle Edmund Cloudsley died in some robbery and I'm rich. Now your father will see me for the man that I am. Let's marry. Okay, so these two together should kind of jog your memory that 1788 and 1795 don't make sense if Edmund died. Okay, so Edmund is coming for them. What if the evil government men find us? And she says, "Rory not and continue the feast, wife. Nothing can stand in my way. I will kill our enemies wherever we go." He's been betting. He's been betting. Ah! So do we think they were living at the manor? Do we think they were living at the manor and Edmund was coming to get them? Edmund/Lazarus. But he set up a trap for them. He's a betting man. Oh, I didn't know pressing space could do that. Oh, I actually hit it by accident. Wow, that's cool. What if Peter Blatley did it? And Peter Batley would have access to the kerchief, like some of the Cloudsley gear. Wait, let's go back. Yeah, I mean, Edmund Cloudsley died. He probably got to hold a handkerchief. So let's say Peter Batley killed Nicholas Hurst at the manor? Lazarus Hurst? Wow. So it's not one big Walter Keane Godfather style massacre. These are several several pieces happening in a few hours. Kind of by coincidence. Kind of by coincidence, kind of by the fact that they're all in the same place where these things can be set up, I guess. I think Lazarus march to the King's Palace might actually be just a setup in order to find Peter. I think he might actually be obsessed. Oh! It's this one, isn't it? Dear Uncle, I hear you're interested in Lady Richards. I think you're too old for her. I shall court her instead. And he was successful in that. And so on top of Edmund Cloudsley's political ambitions, let's look at things from Edmund Cloudsley's perspective. Not particularly sympathetic, like maybe, you know, he seems to be an absolutely malevolent schemer. A man with political ambitions, but has a group of insurgents, organizations, whatever, secret groups after him, people in the House of Lords who are very much say, you step out of line and I will end you. All that going on. That's a thing he needs to fix. Secondly, he seems to be excluded from the Brotherhood of Masks that his father and his brother were involved in, which included stewardship of the Golden Idol. He seems to be excluded from that. Thirdly, you're not seeing me tap my fingers. Thirdly, he fancies this young woman and is outraged when it appears she considers him too old for courting and likes his nephew instead. 3 things here. How do we solve this? Steal the idol out of spite from the Brotherhood. Use the idol to become a new man and take over the Brotherhood with a fake miracle. Use that to start a political party, a populist party, that with a little bit of scheming and murder puts you back right in the seat of power that you so desire, and the fascistic control that comes with being this kind of petty, power-hungry, pathetic man. Thirdly, because you're now younger, you believe Mary Richards will fancy you. And you deserve her, of course. Of course you come for you. Unfortunately, they've gone into hiding, so now you have to, like, seek them out using all this power you've gained. And that's where we are now. We are attacking the king. We are finding and taking Mary. And also wiping up a few loose ends along the way. This is where we are in this final chapter. This is what's happening. So, it was Peter who gambled for the cannon, which is missing from the ship. He put the cannon here where they are living because I guess he got this place in the funeral. Or maybe not, because his mother got this place in Sebastian's funeral. But either way, this is where he's staying. His location has been given away by Mary's father. I don't know if willingly or through coercion. I don't know. So once Lazarus knows, or Edmund knows they're here, he turns up in his newfangled steammobile. But Peter's ready for him with a cannon. The thing you least expect when you walk into a person's study, I would say. So are we ready to finish this? Lazarus Hearst went to the manor. Okay, so there's something going on. So what he wants to do, did he want to... So is it he wants to kill Peter Batley or kidnap Peter Batley? Because someone wanted to something the something. We've got ideal wife here. Maybe he wants to kidnap Mary. I'm trying to piece this together. So what does he want here? He wants to ship Peter off to the colonies. He wants to take Mary as his wife. In his note here, you'll become my ideal wife. So his plan is to ship Peter off to the colonies and make Mary his wife. I think it's going to be kidnap Mary. I guess she's Mary Batley now, right? Because Lazarus Hearst wanted to have the ideal wife. That was a marathon. Oh my god, that was 2.5 hours. Let's read it. Before storming the king's castle with the order party, Lazarus Hearst led his men to Sebastian Cloudley's old manor in order to kidnap his long-lost love, Mary Batley, née Richards, who was hiding there with her husband, Peter Batley. Upon entering the manor, Lazarus and his troops were confronted by a drunk Peter and the cannon he'd won while gambling. Peter blew up Lazarus, breaking the idol, so it was a broken idol, not a fake idol, and then fled the scene with Mary and had a little picnic about it. And the fact that he was drunk was hilarious. Thank you for playing. And why the hell was this guy dressed as a washerwoman? Like, who is he? Maybe his name has appeared in other parts that I didn't clock. Oh, we got a little drink. Down with virtues. Ah. Hey. Weren't you with the order party? Oh, no. I was never part of that ghastly organisation. You coward, Nicholas. Oh, I can take this a gilded brass trinket for scrap metal. You can have 3 sous for it and call yourself lucky. So that's... He looks a bit younger. He's blonde. Is this a disguise? Is this a disguise? I'm just trying to bring up his face. That's Alistair Coke, right? But he's blondified his hair. Hey! Thank you, Andre Clavins and Ernest Clavinge. Oh. No thanks to you, Ernest Clavinge. That was good. That was really good. I'm glad I played it. I'm glad I pushed through my distaste for the art style and actually started playing it. And yeah, the clue hunting was good. I liked how it all came together at the end, even though it nearly murdered me. 2.5 hours. I'm going to have to cut it into 2 episodes, I think. But maybe I'll do them back to back. Maybe I'll throw you a little extra episode in, just instead of having a day between. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah. Good game. Good fun game. Well done, everybody who put that together. It felt fair. It felt challenging in the right way. It sort of had... It was challenging sometimes in more chapters than others. I think the only part I was like on was that one dinner party clue, and I couldn't. If it had come a little bit later, after we heard of the Brotherhood of the Masks, I think trying to spot the name Dark Hand Steward would have made more sense. Instead, that paragraph where the phrase Dark Hand Steward was hidden just seemed like gibberish, so I ignored it. Other than that, yeah, very cool. Very, very cool. Enjoyed that a lot. I'll probably be playing some of the other Golden Idol games, or I think there's extra chapters. I'm not really sure. There seem to be like endless bits of DLC and sequels and things. So yeah, we'll be back at some point. But yeah, thank you very much for showing me on this. I'm assuming quite a few people have played this and consider it a bit of a classic. So I hope I didn't let you down in my way through it. And sorry that last chapter was a bit of a slog, and I hope not too painful. Anyway, that was that. That was the Case of the Golden Idol. I liked it. I'm going to give it a star rating of some kind. Maybe 4. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you later. If you liked it, do the likey thing. You don't have to do the likey thing. I don't know how, I can't tell you what to do. But we'll be back for another game shortly, I'm sure. And with that, goodbye. Hi. So I stopped the game and this appeared. So maybe we should do this quickly before we say goodbye. Is this going to be an actual level? Oh, come on! I'll see you next time. Bye.